Hello, welcome to Krissys Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to make the bunny bucket hat in a child size. You will need an L crochet hook and an H crochet hook to make the ears. You'll be holding 2 strands of worsted weight or number 4 yarn. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver. You can use Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn or any other softer yarn you would like for the hat. But for the ears, I recommend a stiff yarn like Red Heart Super Saver or Care-On 1 pound, but you will only be holding 1 strand of yarn for the ears. So for the hat, you will be holding 2 strands of yarn. So let's get started. Let's make a slip knot. Place my loop on the hook, chain 3, and join in a ring. And I'll just come down and insert my hook right there on that outside loop. You'll notice I have this yarn tail. I'm going to push everything down. I have a hold of this yarn tail. I'm going to wrap it around the ring and crochet over the yarn tails as I'm crocheting in the ring. Now the hole is right here. Right here is the slip knot. You can mistakenly put the hook in this hole, but you need to go underneath and place your hook in the hole underneath. Let me show you. It opens up very big. You just have to look for it, and actually your hook just kind of finds it once you get used to this. All right, so chain 1, we're going to place 10 half double crochets in this ring. Remember, I'm keeping this wrapped around. Here's the first half double crochet, second, third half double crochet, fourth, fifth, sixth. There we go. We have 6 in the ring right now. We need 4 more. 7, 8, and I'm running out of room. So I'm going to shove these stitches over, and they go over quite nicely. Just give everything a shove. That's 8. Now to place 2 more. 9, 10. Now I'm going to bypass this chain 1 and slip stitch in the top of the first half double crochet. That's the top of that half double crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, and 2 half double crochets in the joining stitch and in each stitch around. So 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 2 in the next, 1, 2, and you see I have 2 half double crochets in the first 3 stitches. I will continue to place half double crochets in each stitch around. I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, I have completed 2 half double crochets in 8 of the stitches. So now this is the 9th stitch. I'll place 2 half double crochets, and this is the 10th stitch. All right, and again, the chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we slip stitch in the top of the first half double crochet, chain 1, and 1 half double crochet in the joining stitch, and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So that is the pattern: 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. So the repeat is working with 3 stitches: 1, 2, 3, a single, and then 2 in 1 stitch. So this is round 3, and you're working with 3 stitches on the repeat. So the repeat all the way around will be 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around, and join with a slip stitch to the beginning. Now you started out with 10 stitches. The second round has 20 stitches at the end of the round. This is round 3. Round 1 had 10, round 2 had 20, round 3 will have 30 stitches at the end of the round. Let me finish all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the end of this round and finish this out. I am at the end of round 3. I have 2 more stitches. So I need to execute 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets. All right, skipping the chain 1 and slip stitch in the top of the first half double crochet. Chain 1, half double crochet in the joining stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in this next stitch. 1, 2, that's the repeat on round 4. You're dealing with 4 stitches: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me repeat that for you. Half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. All right, this is the repeat: 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. Then the repeat will continue with 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. You're working with 4 stitches on round 4, and at the end of round 4 you will have 40 stitches. So I will finish this all the way around, and when I get to the last repeat I will come back on and show you what's next. But first, I still have a hole, and I have these yarn tails. I'm going to grab hold and pull, and look how that just closes up that hole. Just give it a really good tug, and then clip that off, and I'm not going to be dealing with that anymore. I won't have those yarn tails to mess with. All right, I'll get around to the last repeat, and then I'll be back in just a moment. I am at the end of round 4. I have 1 more repeat, and that is 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets in this last stitch. All right, bypass this chain 1 and slip stitch in the top of this half double crochet. Now I need to make this bigger around, but I don't want it a half double crochets worth bigger around, and I don't want quite as many stitches going down the body of the hat or the size of the hat. So I'm going to execute round 5 is single crochets around, but I will increase every 10th stitch. So every 10 stitches I will place an increase. So let's get started on that. It's chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, and in the next 8 stitches, so 9 single crochets, and then 2 single crochets in the 10th stitch. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, I'm glad I stopped to count. I need to single crochet in the first 9 stitches and then 2 single crochets in the 10th stitch. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 2 single crochets in this stitch. There we go. Now, a single crochet in the next 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the 10th stitch, 2 single crochets. So the repeat is, here are the first 2, or the previous 2. So the repeat is a single crochet in 9 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2 single crochets in the 10th stitch. Now we'll repeat that sequence 2 more times, and I will come back when we are getting ready to finish at the end of this round, and then I'll show you the high back post half double crochet that creates a cute little ridge and makes the sides of the hat go down. It changes the direction of your fabric. I'll be back in a moment. All right, I am almost finished with that single crochet round that will end up with 44 single crochets at the end of this round as we increased every 10th stitch. This is the 9th stitch, this is the 10th stitch, so 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. All right, now we bypass, just as before, we bypass the chain 1 and slip stitch in the top of that first single crochet. Lost my yarn. Slip stitch. There we go. Now we're going to start creating a high back post half double crochet, and that is done by chaining 1, yarn over, come in from the back around the stitch, grab the yarn, pull the yarn through, pull the yarn through to the back, and you have 3 double loops on the hook and a half double crochet. This really is not a high back post half double crochet. This is a back post half double crochet around a single crochet stitch. All right, so if you're working with a half double crochet stitch, you will need to go high above the main post, but for right now, you're just executing a back post half double crochet around this whole single crochet stitch. There really isn't much of a post on a single crochet stitch, but you execute that all the way around, and see how this makes a nice little ridge, how it makes a nice little ridge, and it turns the fabric to go a different direction. Let's take a look at it from this direction. All right, let me complete that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. And as you can see, up, I have created the back post half double crochet all the way around. I have 2 more to execute. Let me do those for you. 1, 2, all right, so now we have 7 rounds that we have created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're going to start round 7. I have joined with a slip stitch, chain 1, and how round 7 works is just a half double crochet in each stitch around. Very simple. Half double crochet in each stitch around, then you come all the way around, join with a slip stitch to the top of this half double crochet, and I'll be back in a moment. So I have crocheted a half double crochet in each stitch around. This is round 8. Nope, this is round 7. So I have 2 more half double crochets to finish. 2, and I'll join with a slip stitch to the top of that half double crochet. Chain 1, half double crochet in each stitch around. We will execute 1 half double crochet. We will repeat round 7 through round 10. Then at the end of round 10, we will drop the blue and pull up a contrasting color for our band. But let me take a few more stitches. So this is round 8. Just simple half double crochet all the way around, 1 in each stitch. This will be 44 stitches. When we get to this last stitch, make a half double crochet and join to the top of the beginning half double crochet. We will do that through round 10, and like I said, at the end of round 10 we drop this main color and we will pull up a contrasting color. I will meet you at the end of round 10. So I'm at the end of round 10. I'll be dropping the main color at this last stitch and then pulling up the contrasting color. Let me get to that last stitch, and remember, this round will end with 44 half double crochets. All right, so I'm going to drop the main color. I'm holding it with my pinky down here so that it doesn't get loose. Let me grab the contrasting color. Contrasting color I'm using is going to be white. All right, so I'm going to pull up the contrasting color at the last pull through. This is my yarn tail. I'm going to pull it out of the way and grab it with my hook hand. Now I join with a slip stitch in the top of that first half double crochet. Pull down on these loops, pull down on the loops that are behind. Now keeping the working yarn, get the working tail out of the way, and keeping the working yarn in my hand, I'm going to chain 1 single crochet in each stitch around. All right, let's do that. There's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. Whoops, I didn't get all of my loops. 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets, 4 single crochets, and a single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And I'll meet you at the end of the round. The round after this is a cross stitch round, and it's exciting. Now I'm at the end of the single crochet round. I have 2 more single crochets to make. Single crochet here, and then join in the top of that single crochet right there. By the way, I did not end off with my main color. I'll pull that back up and use it to crochet the brim. So it's just kind of hanging out in the back, just waiting there for me to pull it up. All right, so this next round is the cross stitch round. So I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and execute a double crochet. I'll bring my hook in front. I will bring my hook in front and cross back and hit hit this single crochet behind the chain 3 to make a double crochet, and that will make an X stitch. All right, so let's do that. Yarn over, I crossed in front, pulled up my loop, I have 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now let's make the next X stitch or cross stitch, and how we do that is we will skip a stitch and execute a double crochet in the next stitch. Now I will cross back in front of this double crochet. I'll cross my hook in front of this double crochet and execute a double crochet in that stitch that I just skipped. And that made an XX stitch or cross stitch. So I have 2 cross stitches. Let me show you that one more time. So skip this stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. Whoops. Now cross back in front, hit the stitch that I just missed. Let me show you that again. Cross back in front, hit the stitch that I just missed, or skipped, or not missed, but skipped. Pull up the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, one more time. Yarn over, skip this stitch, double crochet in the next stitch. I dropped a loop, dropped a strand, double crochet in this stitch, cross back in front of this stitch, and double crochet in this next stitch. And there we have a cross stitch. All right, now in order to execute a cross stitch round, you need a multiple of 2 stitches, and we have that. So execute the cross stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, so I am at the end of the cross stitch round, and as you can see, this cross stitch makes a lovely place to weave in a bit of lace or a bit of ribbon. Nice little stitch. Let me finish this last cross stitch. We have 2 open stitches here, so we will skip this stitch, execute a double crochet right here in the next stitch, then cross back in front of this double crochet, yarn over, cross back, and hit that stitch that I just skipped, double crochet. That is the last cross stitch made. Now I will join in the 3rd chain of that beginning chain 3. That beginning chain 3 at the beginning of the round counts as a double crochet, and as you can see, it starts right down here and then it finishes up here, and this is the 3rd chain. So I will join with a slip stitch in this 3rd chain, chain 1, and single crochet. Now I'll single crochet in the next stitch and in each stitch around. Okay, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. And at the end of the round, we're going to drop. We will actually end off with this contrasting color and pull up the main color that has been floating behind. All right, let me finish this single crochet round, and I'll meet you at the end of the round, and I'll show you how to pull up the main color. We are at the end of the round. We have 2 open stitches left, 1 single crochet and another single crochet, but we are not going to finish with the white. The last pull through, we're going to drop this contrasting color. Actually, we're going to end off. We ended off with a contrasting color, and we're pulling up this main color at this last pull through. of this last single crochet. All right, so now we will join with a slip stitch to the top of this first single crochet. Now we're going to begin the brim. The brim, each stitch will be in the front loop only of each stitch. This is the front loop. This is the back loop. We will place all stitches just under the front loop only. And then that will create a little bit of a turn for the brim. So let's get started with that. Chain 1, half double crochet in the front loop only. That's the joining stitch. Half double crochet. We will increase every 6th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on this 6th stitch, we're going to execute 2 half double crochets in the front loop only. 1, 2. As you notice, it pulls up and gets a little bit big, but it will tighten back down when we pull up on this next loop. But as you can see, this is the front loop only. The back loops are still intact, haven't been crocheted over. They will be unused. All right, so half double crochet in the next 5 stitches of the front loop only. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in this 6th front loop, 2 half double crochets. So the repeat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the repeat is a half double crochet in the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 half double crochets in the 6th stitch. You will repeat that sequence 6 times for a total of 7 repeats. So there's 1, 2, and we will repeat that sequence 5 more times. Then there will be open stitches at the end. But let me get around to the end of the round and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we are at the end of this round. As you can see, it kind of flares out. There's a little bit of a flare. The back loop is unworked and it creates a little bit of a flare on this hat, especially since we have an increase every 6th stitch. Now we had 44 stitches, 6 times 7, because we repeated this sequence of increases 7 times. 6 times 7 is 42. We had 44 stitches, so we have 2 stitches that need to be worked. So let's crochet a half double crochet in those last 2 stitches and join with a slip stitch in the top of that first half double crochet. And we are just about finished with the main body of this hat. All right, so now it's very simple. It's just 2 rounds of half double crochet in each stitch around, which will be 51 stitches. So half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, all the way around for 2 rounds. and I'll meet you at the end of that second round. I'm at the end of the last round of half double crochet stitches. I have 2 more stitches left. 1, 2. Join with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. End off. Pull that through and weave in all of the ends, and you have a cute little child size bucket hat. The brim flares out. Isn't this sweet? I think this is really sweet. Now we can add ears to this hat. I have one that is already made, or you can just weave ribbon through this and crochet a flower, but I have one ear that is already made, and you sew it onto the brim right there, and then you mold. You mold this little ear, and then you crochet, and then you stitch this portion, you stitch this portion and this portion onto the front of the hat. You place those little ears right approximately where the eyebrow is. Now, let me show you how to make the ears. Chain 4 using 1 strand only and your 5mm hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, and half double crochet in the second chain from the hook, and right there is the second chain. And 2 half double crochets in the third chain, and then 1 half double crochet in this last chain, chain 1 and turn. All right, so it's 1 half double crochet in the first stitch and 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, these 2 will have 2 half double crochets. There you go. You see you have 1, then you have 2, and you have 2, now 1 in this last half double crochet. And then we will chain 1 and turn, and we'll have 6 half double crochets at the end of this round. So chain 1 and turn, and it's a half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets in this next stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet in this last stitch right here. And that gives us 8 half double crochets. Now, rows 4 through 10 is chain 1 and a half double crochet in each stitch around. There are no increases. Each stitch will hold, each stitch will hold 1 stitch only. There will be no increases. So there will not be a stitch that has 2 stitches in it. So make sure you count. Sometimes it's easy to miss this last half double crochet, but just get right down in there and put your half double crochet in there and count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was row 4. We need to do this until we complete row 10. So I will complete row 10. I'll come in at the end of row 9 and show you row 10. So I am at the end of round 9 on the back of the bunny ear. You will need to make 2 of these. Remember, we've already made 1. So we need to, this is the second one we're making. So I'm at round 9. I need to chain 1 and turn, and then half double crochet in each stitch across to finish out row 10. If I said round, I do apologize. I meant row 10. All right, we'll finish row 10 here quickly. Remember, if you get lost sometimes with your stitches, it's right here with this last stitch. This stitch right here is the last stitch. So this makes our last stitch. 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we need to start decreasing to make a taper to the top of the ear. So chain 1. Okay, so I will half double crochet in the first stitch and then decrease. And here's how I do a decrease with a half double crochet. I yarn over, insert hook in the stitch, pull up a loop. Leave those loops on the hook, insert my hook in this next stitch, pull up a loop, and I have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Now half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then decrease again, yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 4, yarn over, pull through all 4, and then a half double crochet in this last stitch. All right, now chain 1 and turn. You have 6 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Now we have another series of decreases. Let me half double crochet in the first stitch, a decrease, immediately a decrease, then another decrease, yarn over, insert hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all 4, and then a half double crochet. You now have 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now it's chain 1 and turn, half double crochet in the first stitch, a decrease, and a half double crochet in this last stitch, and we have 3 stitches. Now this last row is chain 1. This is the last row. We're looking like we have an ear, and it is half double crochet 3 stitches together. And here's how I do that. Yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, insert hook in the last stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 5 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Take another stitch to close that up, end off, and pull through. There we have the back of the bunny ear. Now let's make the front of the bunny ear. The front of the bunny ear will have white on the outer edges and pink in the middle. Let me show you how. Okay, so it's chain 4. One, 2, 3, 4, and we will half double crochet in the second chain from the hook, but we're going to be pulling up the pink before we finish the pull through right here. So I'm going to drop the white, grab it with these fingers behind so that I can keep some tension on that, pull up the pink at the last pull through. There we go. I need to make sure I pull the white working tail or white working yarn up, not the tail of the yarn. The tail is right here. I need the working yarn to be pulled up. I'm going to crochet over top of the working yarn. I need to get my pink tail out of the way. I have my pink working yarn in this hand. I need to pull up and crochet over top of the white. All right, so half double crochet. Let me get the pink tail out of there. That is really creating trouble here. This feels really fiddly, but once you get moving, you are in good shape. All right, I pulled up my white. Kind of toss it over there. All right, now execute my first half double crochet in pink. And I did that over top of the white. Now I need to make a second half double crochet
in that same stitch.
But I'm going to drop the pink. And when I drop the pink, I'm not dropping it to the back. I'm pulling it forward over top of that white. Pull it forward. All right, now pull up the white at the last pull through. Now when you pull this yarn, the pink yarn forward, it will be in position for you to pull it up because we will be turning our work. All right, let's execute that last half double crochet in that last chain. Chain one and turn. All right, we're going to execute a half double crochet, but we're going to grab the working yarn long enough to pull up the pink. At the last pull through. Now, grab the white, make sure it's going to be crocheted over top. All right, now we execute 2 half double crochets in each of these stitches. So 1, look, we're crocheting over top of the white. 1, 2, there we go. We're crocheting over the white. You might want to give it a little pull. Sometimes it can get loopy in the back. You don't want it to be loopy. You need it to be inside the stitches. All right, 1 half double crochet and then a second where we will be pulling up the white at the last pull through. But remember, pull the pink to the front over top of the white. There we go. That kind of locks that everything in. And the white at the last pull through. We have the beginning of a really nice looking ear, but we need to keep this pink at the front and then execute a half double crochet in this elusive last stitch. There we go. It's not so elusive once you make that half double crochet, is it? Looking like the beginning of an ear. Okay, let's chain 1 and turn. Let the yarn fall, pull up the pink. There we go. Now it's easier once you get into this ear to just kind of have this white kind of floating in the back. All right, so pulling up the pink at the last pull through. Now we're going to execute 2 half double crochets in this stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 half double crochets in this last of the pink stitches. And then we will of course drop the pink at the last pull through, before the last pull through rather, pulling it to the front and then pulling up the white and then half double crochet. All right, so now we have 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just like the back of the ear, I've lost him. Where did my back ear go? Now I've lost the back of my ear. Oh no. Anyway, just like the back of the ear, we have 8 stitches. So we need to execute this pattern up through round 10. Let me show you one more row. Not round, row. Through row 10. So chain 1, show you this one more time, and then I'll go off camera to get through row 10. All right, I almost forgot to drop the white. Just kind of lay it there. Pull up the pink at the last pull through. Now it's laying that white across the back, a half double crochet in each stitch across. Pretty simple. You'll get so you're flying on this. And at the last stitch, we will, last pink stitch, we're going to pull the pink up front over top of the white, and then the white at the last pull through, you can let go of that pink and then execute a half double crochet in this last stitch. Now that's what you do through row 10. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will be exactly like row 4. So if you need to stop, back it up, and repeat every time so you can follow the steps, that's fine. But you need to have 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I will join you at the end. As you can see, I am at the end of row 9. I am crocheting over the white. I am working with the pink at this moment. I'm going to finish these last 3 stitches. Now this last stitch, I need to drop the pink, pull it to the front, give this a little tug, and then pull up the white, and then finish that last stitch in white, and chain 1 and turn. Now, does your yarn get tangled right here? Yeah, it does sometimes. Sometimes you have to untwist and untangle. Right now, it's not a problem. I've worked hard. If you pay attention, it won't get tangled. All right, so let's execute. We have our pink hanging to the back because we moved it to the back, because once we turned, it is in the back. So it's ready for us to pick up. So we start, this is row 10. We make half of the half double crochet. So this is half a stitch. So we drop, kind of pull it a little bit, pick up the pink, and then half double crochet over top of the white. Across. Let me pull out a All right, we're on the last of the pink stitches. So I have made half of the stitch, giving this white a little tug, and I'm pulling the pink to the front. I have a little tangle, but that's okay. All right, now let's pull up the white at the last pull through, and then make the last half double crochet. So that was the end of row 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops, 11. I just showed you how to do 11. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can take that out. All right, so we're at the end of row 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we need to start decreasing so that we can make the taper just as we did for the back of the ear. So chain 1, turn. We are still making a half stitch, pulling up the pink, crocheting over the white, and now we are going to decrease. But remember, we're going over the white yarn, crocheting over the white yarn, not going over the white yarn. So there's our first decrease. Now half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, decrease, and at this last pull through of the decrease, so we need to pull the pink to the front over top of the white, and then pull the white through the last pull through. Now half double crochet in the last stitch, and we have 6 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn. So half double crochet in the first stitch, pulling up the pink at the last pull through. There it is. Now we are going to decrease immediately, and we're decreasing over top of the white. Decrease again, with the exception that we pull our pink to the front. Now we might want to flip it over. Make sure right here, sometimes the white is exposed a little bit. So let's undo this last decrease. Let's give the yarn a tug, and we'll check it before, we'll check the back because I didn't like how that looked. All right, so decrease. Sometimes the yarn is exposed a little bit during the decrease. Now pull the pink to the front, give the white a bit of a tug, and pull through. That looks better, but it is still going to show. It will not be prevalent because this part of the ear points toward you, or you can put this side at the front. It just depends on how you want to sew your ears together. It just depends on how you want to sew both pieces of your ears together. All right, now let's chain 1 and turn. We executed that last half double crochet. So now we're going to execute half of the double crochet. Now we're going to execute half of the first double crochet, drop the white, pull up the pink. At the last pull through, now it's just a decrease over top of the white yarn. I made a mistake. I did not pull up my white. This is so easy to do, but it's so easy to back out of. Every time I make an ear, I do this once or twice. I just forget and I get excited and I make that last pull through. So we need to drop the white, drop the pink, pull up the white. Now we have 3 stitches on the hook, but we're going to end off with this pink. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to execute 3 half double crochets together. So insert hook. Let me show you that again. So it's yarn over, insert hook in the next stitch, insert hook in the last stitch, yarn over, pull through all 5, close the stitch, cut the yarn end off and cut the yarn and pull it on through and tighten it down. And there we have the front of an ear that will match the back of the ear. Where is my ear back? All right. Now we will weave these ends in, weave in your ends, and once the ends are woven in, we'll sew them together, and I'll show you how to do that. Bunny ear hat. To make the bunny ears for the bunny bucket hat, you'll need to make two pieces. There is a front, which has the pink center, and each side is just a little different. You have to decide which one you would like to have showing. I think I want this side to show. I like the way it finishes up here and down here. And there's a little bit of a bobble there, but it will pinch closed, and I'll show you how to do that toward the end. Then you have the back of the bunny ear. Now you need to weave all of these ends in. You're going to start with a fresh piece of yarn to sew these two together. I will weave the ends into the back of this side and then to this side, the front side. So the ends that are woven in will be sandwiched, because you will sandwich these two pieces together and then sew them, and I'll show you how that goes. Let me weave in those ends and then we'll be right back. All of the ends have been woven in on these two ear pieces, and now I'm going to place this one on top. I am going to use an H crochet hook. You can use an F or a G, but you're going to want to slip stitch loosely all the way around each side. Then you come to the top and you make a picot, and then all the way around the other side. I have a crochet pattern for the bunny bucket hat. This is the adult medium to large, and you can see the ears are much bigger. So each size will have its own ear pattern. This is for the child's size. You'll notice there isn't as much white on this outer edge. So let's get started. Let's just match up these two ears side to side as best you can. Looks like we've got a really good match. So let's just pull up the yarn. Let's start at this corner. I'm just going to insert my hook anywhere it will. There we go. I've inserted my hook. I'm going to leave a bit of a tail. Now I'm using almost 2 yards of yarn right here. Up the yarn, and I have my first loop. I'm just going to, that's my yarn tail. Now I need to make sure I'm holding my working yarn, and I want this to be loose. I don't want it to be tight. And I'm just going to go up to the next row and make a slip stitch. Pull that loop up just a little. Go up to the next row. There we go, that worked. Loosely. This is not a tight project. If you're tense, relax yourself. I like to pull up the loops, look at them, and then make my yarn pull through, and then make the pull through. Look at my loops. I'm getting ready to come to the point. Remember, I'm wanting to make a picot at the point. This one looks like it's going to be just a little tricky. Oh, it worked out just fine. There we go. Now I'm at the very tip top. Find yourself a spot to come through. Make that slip knot, or slip stitch rather. Now make a picot, and a picot is chain 3. Be generous with this. And slip stitch in that first chain that was made right there. There we're making the slip stitch. Now proceed to slip stitch down the other side. All right, and that's looking very nice. Let me slip stitch down this other side. I'll speed the camera up, and then I'll show you how to pinch and close the end of the ear. Okay, I'm at the end. I've got a cute bunny ear. Now I'm going to make one last slip stitch right here. And I still have a bit of a yarn tail, not much. And I started out with 2 yards of yarn, so you may want 2.5 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and end off right here. Now I'm going to bring in my yarn needle. And I'm going to use my yarn needle to make this I want to make this pinched up and really tight. So I'm going to start by inserting my hook and going from the front to the back. Now I'm going to go to the back, from the back on the other side, and go to the front. Now I'm going to really pull it, give it a good pull. Now I'm going to go from the side, go from side to side. Have to really work the needle. To do that again. There we go. If I see any loose spots, I don't like this loose area, I'm going to work that into the pinch. This is pretty tight. All right, I've got a good little pinch that condensed that really well. So now I need to shape my bunny ear. You can see it's already starting to concave and cup this direction. Then I need to push it out in the middle toward me and then bring the tip of the bunny ear back. Make it look like okay, so now when wave. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to attach this ear to this hat. You're going to want to make sure your seam, which you really can't see where the seam is. Let me see if I can find it. Right there's my seam. You want to make sure it's in the back, at the back of the hat. Can you see the seam? It's kind of hard to see. It goes right down through there. So just, you know, if you're a perfectionist, you're going to want it at the back of the hat. Anyway, so we have this ear, and we sandwiched the 2 pieces together, and then we sewed it together with a very loose slip stitch until we got to the very tip, and then we made a picot. That's optional, but I felt like the tip of the bunny ear needed a little bit of something, and then we slip stitched all the way down to the bottom. Then we pinched the bottom together and used a yarn needle and thread and sewed this really tight. All right, now we want to mold and shape the ear. So the ear is going to concave a bit, and this is kind of stiff. You don't have to add foam or a pipe cleaner. So mold this so that it concaves away from you, and then the center, kind of bring it toward you, and then mold the top so that it comes back. So your ear should look like a wave. All right, now we want to sew this ear portion right here. Imagine where the eyebrow of a child would be. So probably right here and right here. If it was an adult, it'd be a little farther apart. There's not much difference, but I would, for a child's hat, I'm going to put one ear right here above at the bottom of this cross stitch, and one ear right here at this cross stitch. But first, let me show you how to sew this ear on. Really simple. I will eventually get rid of this shorter yarn tail. I'll work it into the hat, but I'm going to take the longer yarn tail, weave it into a yarn needle, and then I'm going to sew it onto this row, right at the thick part of this row. If I go down in here, I don't have good stitches to attach it to. So let's just start out. If you have a metal needle, I keep losing my metal needles. The metal needle works much better. This is having trouble sliding through those stitches. There we go. Let's get an initial. We got an initial feed through that row. Okay, pull it tight. Now we want to straighten up that ear. Okay, so let's go through the ear itself any way you can to just get this ear sewn in place. You can probably hear my yarn, my needle squeaking as it goes through the yarn. There we go. Okay. Just make sure you're catching the yarn underneath. It's so easy to just think, oh, I'm sewing this on, and then you get done and it lifts away because you haven't really sewn to anything behind the ear. I have done that a time or two. Like I said, a metal needle would be much better. I'm going to see if I can get this little bump here to smooth down. Let me see if I can get my needle through it and then pull it through. This doesn't have to be a super tight application, as I don't think this ear is going to come off very well, but if it's for a child, you might want to make it's kind of secure. This feels like it's a little loose, so I'm going to come from underneath, try to get that down in there. Okay, I'm going to take a few more stitches. I just want this to be secure because it's for a child. I'm hoping my grandson Lincoln will like this. I think light blue looks okay for a little boy hat. I would have preferred brown, but the blue is handy. Yeah, I like the way that feels right now. So I'm going to drop that. I'm going to pull this second strand to the back. I'll use my crochet hook to do that with. There we go. And I'll weave those ends in. I'll save the time. You know how to weave ends in. All right, so reshape the ear. We have it in a wave. We want that ear to pop out. And looking at the hat, I want it to be cocked to the side just a tad bit. So let me cut off a strand of yarn. This will be a new piece of yarn. And just pull back that portion and just start going through the hat, and then let's do an in and out for a few stitches, going through the hat portion and then through the ear portion, in and out. Oops, I've pulled it all the way through. Let me do this again. If you can hear the piano playing, that is my grandson, who is 7. His father realized he loved a piano, so he brought one home for him, a little keyboard. My sister gave it to him, and gave it to my son, and he's been picking up on things very quickly. Really excited for him, because music is something you can use. Art and music are something that you can use your entire life. All right, let's see how that looks. Is it attached? Yeah, I think it's attached. This just needs to be lightly tacked. All right, I think it's looking like a bunny ear All right, I'll weave those ends in through and secure them. I'll take them to the back and tie them.
Well, it was really good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you visit Krissys over the mountain.crochet.com. I have more crochet patterns and tutorials there, crafting videos, how to tie bows, something, just little things like that. But it was good to have you. I hope you'll come again soon. Bye.